Hello kids, welcome to Learner's Planet. Kids, in this session we are going to learn rounding the number to nearest whole number, 10th place and 100th place. Okay, in the previous sessions we have already learned rounding the number to nearest 10, 100 and 1000, right? Now this session is slightly different from the previous ones because in the previous ones we were not dealing with decimal numbers. In this case, since we have to round the numbers to nearest whole number, 10th place and 100th place, that means we are dealing with decimals. Okay, now how do we round off the number to nearest whole, 10th place and 100th place? Let's see. We take example one by one. Now first I show you how to round off the number to nearest whole number, right? I give you one example. Suppose I have a number maybe 565.3, right? And I have to round up this number to nearest whole number, right? So what you do, you see the number after decimal, okay? That is number 3. Again, the number after decimal is greater than 5, greater than equal to 5 or less than 5. Right? So here the number after decimal is less than 5. So you just take this number as it is. Okay. So nearest whole number will be 565. Okay. Similarly, if this number is more than equal to 5, then what you do? You add 1 over here. Okay. Remove this and add 1 over here. Okay. So that is 566. So you have to remove this number, you have to remove this number, and if it is more than 5, you have to add 1 over here. If it is less than 5, then you just copy this as it is. Okay, so that is a rounding to nearest whole number. I take few more examples. 378. That really doesn't matter how many digits are there in the number. Okay, 3785.2. Okay, delete this number. It's so, and if it is 2 is less than 5, so you just copy this number as it is. Okay, so that is rounding to nearest whole number. Okay, next is, suppose I have 3785.9. Okay, it is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So that is 3786. Okay, so that's very easy. So we take few examples. I show you one worksheet and you have to try the cheat. Now this is the sheet that you have to try. Copy the numbers one by one and write down the correct answer. You have to round the nearest whole numbers. Okay, I just do 1 or 2 for you and remaining ones you have to try. Here there are 25 questions, 5 in each line, total 25 questions. 1 or 2 I am doing for you. Suppose this. Okay, so that is after decimal the number is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So 9 and 1 10, I carry 1, 8 and 1 9, 7 7. So 7789.8 is equivalent to 7790. This is the sign of rounding off. Okay, similarly I try this 812.8. The number after decimal is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So it is 813. Okay, here the number after decimal is equal to 5, so I add 1. So 9 and 1 10, 3 1 will be carried, 3 and 1 4 and 1 6. So 1640. Now you just pause the session, do the remaining ones. 3 I have done, remaining 22 you do on your own. Just copy each and every number in your notebook and try the sums one by one. Then play the session once again to see the answers. Okay. Now I'm showing you the answers. Just match your answers one by one. The question, the number is already written over there and its nearest whole number is also written. So you just copy or you just can directly check it from your notebook. Okay. So just pause the session and match each and every question with this answer. Okay, and whatever is the score you are getting out of 22, just write it down and show it to your mama. Okay, So I hope you are getting good marks. Now I show you how to round off the number to nearest 10th place. Okay, suppose I have two digits after decimal, suppose 372.58, right? So rounding to nearest 10th. Okay, in that case what you see? The number at the units place. If it is more than 5 or less than 5, right? If it is more than 5, add 1 over here and put a 0 over here and copy this number as it is. Okay, so what I do, I write 0, 5 and 1, 6. Okay, so this is a rounding to nearest 10th. Okay, and if this number is less than 5, suppose I have 372.52, right? So put up a 0. If it is less than 5, copy this number as it is, and this is also as it is. Okay, so that's very simple. So I show you one more practice sheet, and we try the sums from that sheet. So this is the sheet. I do one or two more problems for you. So here, see this number, it is less than 5, so put up a 0 as it is remaining number. Okay, here it is 5. So add 1 over here, put up a 0 at this place, add 1, 4, so it is 8872.40. Okay, similarly I take this example, it is more than 5, put up a 0 and add 1 over here, so 4 and 1, 5. So this way you have to do the remaining sums. In all there are 25 sums, 3 I have done for you, remaining 22 you have to do. So just pause the session, do each and every sum, and then I'll show you the answer so you can match your answers and then find out your score. Okay, if you are done, just play the session and match your answers. I have written down the number itself, and this is the correct answer. Okay, so just pause the session, match your answers carefully, and whatever is the score you are getting, just write it down after out of 22, right? So just find out how many of them are correct. Now kids, we see rounding to nearest 100th place. See, one important thing over here, when we are doing a rounding to whole number, after decimal, nothing is there. Okay, if we are doing a rounding up to 10th place, that means after decimal, 1 digit is there. Okay, if we do rounding up to 100th place, that means after decimal we want 2 digits only. Okay, so suppose I have a number maybe 542.348. Okay, now what we want after decimal, we want 2 digits only. Okay, now what is the next step? You see this digit, the third digit. After decimal you see the third digit. It is more than 5 or less than 5. Now this is more than 5, so you add 1 over here, and instead of this put up a 0, right? So, or you can remove it, 4 and 1, 5, 3, and this is 542, right? So after decimal we have 2 digits, and the third one or the last one is 0. So that 0 is, whether you write it or not, whether you write it or don't write it, that really doesn't matter. Okay, so precisely this number is equal to 542.35. This and this number is same. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to write down 2 digits after decimal. Okay, if we are rounding off the number to nearest 100th place. Okay, I take one more example. Suppose I have 662.58. Now if I have to round off this number to nearest 100, I don't have to do anything. It's already rounded off to nearest 100 because after decimal we just have two places. Okay, so it's already done. But instead of this, if I have 0.58, say 1, now what you do, you put up a 0 over here, then it is less than 5, so copy this as it is. Right, so that is 662.580, or you can write it 662.58. This and this is same. Okay, so after decimal we have to get two digits only if we wish to round off the number to nearest hundredth. Okay, now we try this sheet. Here we have to round the number to nearest hundredth place. That means after decimal you want only two digits. Right, after two digits, if there are zeros, no problem, but only two digits must be there. Okay, so I take one or two examples for you, and suppose I do this one. Right, now just see this, the third digit. Right, after decimal, see the third digit. It is less than 5 or more than 5? It is less than 5, so I write down this number as it is. Okay, it is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So 4 and 1, 5, 6, and this is 8, 2, 8, 9. Okay, similarly this one, it is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So 7 and 1, 8, then 4.9624. So it's very easy, kids. Now just pause the session and do the remaining 22 sums on your own. Okay, and then I'll show you the answer so you can match your answers with mine. Okay, so just pause the session and play the session only when you are done. Okay, now I'm sure you are done, so let's match the answers. So here question is also written and answer is also written, so you can match your answer with the correct answers. Okay, so out of 22, whatever is the score you are getting, just write it down and show it to your mama. Okay, so just pause the session, patiently match each and every answer and give yourself the correct score. So kids, we have learned the rounding to nearest whole number, nearest 10th place and nearest 100th place in this session. Okay, and you can see it's very easy. Finally, I take 2-3 more examples and I'll ask you the question and you have to answer the question. Okay, now I have a number 532.53. Okay, and you have to round up this number to nearest whole number, right? Nearest whole number. Nearest whole number, that means no digit should be there after decimal. Okay, now after decimal you can see the first digit, right? It is more than 50. The digits after decimal are more than 50. That means you have to add 1 over here. So it is 533. Okay, so that is rounding off to nearest whole number. Now this number rounding to nearest 10. Nearest 10th place. Right? So after decimal you see this number. Okay, the number at the second position. If it is more than 5 or less than 5, it is less than 5, so what you do, it is 532.50. Okay, so that is rounding to nearest 10th. Okay, and suppose I ask you rounding to nearest 100, then the number will be as it is, because in case of rounding to nearest 100 we want two digits after decimal, so it is already having two digits after decimal. Okay, so this is rounding to nearest whole number, this is rounding to nearest 10th, and this is rounding to nearest 100th place. Okay, Now I have a number 56.238, right? Nearest whole number, 10th place and 100th place. Okay, nearest whole numbers, I see the number after decimal, immediately after decimal. If it is more than 5 or less than 5, right? It is less than 5, so put up 0, it is as it is. Okay, so this is nearest whole number. Now nearest 10th, just see the second number after decimal. It is less than 5, right? So it is 0 and I'll write 56.2. Now nearest 100, so see the third digit after decimal. It is more than 5 or less than 5? It is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. So it is 56.24. So in whole number, no number after decimal in nearest 10th place, no one digit after decimal, and nearest 100th place, 2 digits after decimal. Okay, one more I take, 368.722. Okay, nearest whole number, the number after decimal, it is more than 5, so I add 1 over here. Nearest 10th, see the number after number at the second position, it is less than 5, so I write it as it is. Okay, I just eliminate this and write the remaining number as it is. Then nearest 100th, see the last number, that is more than less than 5, so it is. Okay, isn't it very simple? I do one more. 647.283. Okay, nearest whole number, see the first digit after decimal, it is less than 5, so as it is. Nearest 10th place, see second digit after decimal, it is more than 5, so add 1 over here. So it is 647.3. Okay, then nearest 100th place, see the third number after decimal, it is less than 5, so put it 0 and copy the remaining number as it is. Okay, one more, I have 768.928. Okay, now nearest whole number, the first digit after decimal is more than 5, so you add 1 over here. That is nearest whole number, right? Nearest 10th, the second digit after decimal is less than 5, so delete this and write the remaining number as it is. Okay, the nearest 100, the third digit after decimal is more than 5, so add 1 over here. So 2 and 1, 3, then 9, and this is 768. Okay, so it's very easy. One more, nearest whole number, 10th place and 100th place. Okay, so nearest whole number, just see the first number after decimal, it is more than 5, so add 1 over here. So 9 and 1, 10, 2 and 1, 3, 8, 4, 3, 0. Right? Now nearest 10th place, so see the second number after decimal, so that is 4, so that is less than 5. Right? So less than 5, so this number will be as it is. Okay, then nearest 100th place, see the third number after decimal, it is 5, so what I do, I add 1 to this number 4. Okay, so that's 5, 8, and this is 8, 4, 2, 9. So what we do, we check this number and we put it 0, or we don't write it. Okay, so you can see after decimal I have written only 2 digits in case where we are rounding the number to nearest 100th. In 10th place after decimal we want 1 digit. In whole number we don't want any digit after decimal. Okay, one more I take 7623.479. Okay, nearest whole number. See the first number after decimal, it is less than 5, so copy this as it is. Okay, nearest tenth, the second digit after decimal is more than 5, so add 1 over here. 7623.5, right? And do not write the next numbers. The nearest hundred, see the third digit after decimal, it is more than 5, so add 1 over here. Okay, so that is 7623.48. Okay, so you find it very easy and interesting also. So whatever is a homework that you are getting from the school, or if your mama gives you any homework or any worksheet, you should be able to do it quickly. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session. Once again, do revise this session and the previous ones. Bye bye.